Yeah, Carlo and Anna, flood victims gather here on Osborne Street, where a lot of these homes flooded. Neighbors tell me what happened 2 years ago still feels like yesterday, and they want to make sure that no one, especially the city, forgets.
Is how everything is.
Bebe Sarate's Shelltown home still has signs of destruction dating back to January 22nd, 2024.
2 years ago, still, we got flooded.
She's not alone.
We had no idea the depth and the scale of the destruction and the suffering.
Today, she and her neighbors gathered outside her home to pray and share stories from that day, which will be etched in their memories forever. This video is captured in their neighborhood. You can see people being rescued in waist-high water. Others got out on their own. Some sought refuge on roofs as they watched and waited helplessly. Even 2 years later, there's still fear it could happen again.
There's still tires back there. There's still trash back there. There's so much work more that needs to be done.
Greg Montoya is referring to the canal behind his Beta Street home, which also flooded. He's not convinced the city has done enough to prevent another massive flood. This video was taken a few weeks ago on New Year's Day at the end of his street following a rainstorm.
Thank God the neighbors were here to go to the only storm drain we have in this area and cleaned it out.
Meantime, the city just announced they will be receiving $4.36 million in federal funds to help with 4 area stormwater infrastructure projects, including the Beta Street Channel. Montoya, who is suing the city along with more than 1,800 other people over the 2024 floods, says though hopeful, he fears nothing will change.
Because I have 20 years of asking them to take care of the storm drain behind my house here, that there is no storm drains, that my house gets flooded all the time. So I won't believe it till I see it.
And back out here live again on Osborne Street, you can see that people are setting up right now. Flood victims will once again gather here for a block party to talk about what happened, but also not only talk about the bad times, but talk about the good times and some of the improvements that have been made since the historic flooding. Anna and Carlo?
Shannon, you mentioned the lawsuit involving the city and the flood victims. What's the timeline on that?
Well, Montoya tells me that at this point there is a hearing scheduled in February, and he has some indication that a trial could be set for October. So, of course, we will stay on top of that and keep you posted on what we find out. Of course, with any legal proceedings, it takes time, but when you have one that involves over 1,800 people, it's going to take even longer.
Absolutely. I'm just glad to see the community banding together to continue to support each other as they recover 2 years later. Shannon Handy reporting. Thanks, Shannon.